Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Exciting news for us Disney fans. We're really excited, really happy. We're going to be getting a seventh park, and this park is going to be different from all the other parks. It's going to be modern, technologically more advanced, and money is no issue. You guys, by now, if you are a Disney fan, you must have heard about the plans of Disney shared by Bob Iger and Josh D'Amaro about opening a seventh park in a different part of the world in Abu Dhabi, nonetheless. This has extra special meaning for me because, as you guys know, those of you that know us, me and Mike were a mixed couple. Mike is Dutch. I'm Moroccan, of Moroccan heritage, born and raised in Morocco. I'm Muslim. So I've been hoping for years to see a Disney park in a Muslim country. I've been hoping for years. I'm biased, call me whatever you want. Finally happening. It finally happens. After I gave up hoping, it happens. So I'm really caught by surprise, and I love it. I grew up with American entertainment, American movies, American cartoons, Japanese anime. So at Disney, we had a Disney festival in Morocco on TV every Saturday, almost the whole Saturday afternoon for kids. So that's how I started to develop my love for the Disney company, the Disney productions, the cartoons, and all that. So of course, huge fan here, together with Mike, and I'm lucky that Mike is also a huge fan. So our household definitely is not shying away from admitting that we're huge Disney fans. As I'm talking right now to you, Buzz Lightyear is looking at me. Buzz Lightyear, the Roboson robot, is now looking at me. So that should tell you something. Yeah, let's take a look. Instead of looking at the American sources, which you guys have access to because it's in English, you can understand what's written there. I thought maybe it's interesting to hear a reaction from the point of view of a Muslim, how we receive these news. Again, I'm a Muslim huge Disney fan. So I went around and checked some Arabic websites, and I have translated them for you in English so that you can follow along to get some first impressions of how is this news being perceived by the Muslim world. I can tell you everything that I've found so far, all the websites that I've found so far, are actually very, very positive. They're actually very happy. Everybody cannot wait for this park to actually operating in that part of the world. Not only the Muslims, but also actual, true, genuine, deep in the heart Disney fans that are just so happy to see that a seventh park is coming with a different outlook, different take, different style, which makes it more exciting. Because when you have something, you already have it. And if you want to add something to your collection, you don't collect things of the same thing. You collect things that the very basic definition of collecting is because you want to discover new things to add to your collection. So true Disney fans are excited about this, whether they're Muslim or not, just because it's going to be a different thing to add to our Disney bubble. Guys, remember, English is not my mother language, so I'm really trying here. So please have some patience. Sometimes I must look for the right words to express what I actually want to say. So Disneyland in Abu Dhabi. One thing that I've been reading comments by American people is, so that explains why Disney is not investing in our country's parks. No, guys, this park that's going to be built in Abu Dhabi is not with American money. Not one penny from America will be invested in here. This park is going to be built by the company that's called Miral, and they're going to fully fund this project. Bob Iger and Josh D'Amaro made sure that this was very clear in their message, because they know that Americans right now, with the economy not going so well, are going to have some sort of spite, maybe some of you, and going to be some angry. And I can tell you, I confirm that because the hateful comments I've been reading, the racist comments I've been reading, the anger, the frustration, the rage. For example, the WDW news video that he made about this. Check that one out if you want to know what I'm saying, whether it's just BS or something that I actually stumbled upon. Guys, that's not necessary. That hate, that rage, that fury, and that racism is not necessary. This is not funded with your money. This is funded with the Muslim money. They're going to take care of the whole financial situation, and they're going to fully fund this. Yeah? So why isn't Disney investing in parks in, let's say, in Florida or in Anaheim? That's because something internal in the U.S. You guys have to put more pressure on the U.S. branch to do that. Has nothing to do with what's happening outside. Just like what happens in Tokyo. It's not with your money. So this also is not going to be built with your own money. Abu Dhabi, in Dubai. Abu Dhabi is the capital city of the United Emirates, which is a very progressive, very modern part of the Islamic world. They're very rich, and their leader takes very good care of their people, and they love him. We know that. We as Muslims around the world, we see how they react to him. Even those that are living outside of the United Emirates that we know, they actually love their leader. And they all say the same thing. He takes good care of us. So this is a country where their leader cares about his people. This is also a country that cares about opening up to the world. And although those hateful, racist American comments that I've been reading under these videos, they all focus on, oh, they don't like us, they don't like Americans, they don't like this, no rights for women, no rights for gays. Guys, what's written on paper is not necessarily what you will find in real. Take US at this point, US at this moment. Trump has taken away from us, the gay community, or our fellow gays in the US, LGBTQ. I don't know the exact terms. I'm sorry, I'm gay myself, but I don't know those terms, so I don't want to offend anybody. But we have no rights in the US right now as far as Donald Trump is concerned. That doesn't mean that me as a gay person is not safe necessarily not in the US, but that's just what is written on paper. That's just the laws at this point. Yes, and it does encourage some sick people to do sick things, but it doesn't mean that's the tendency, that's the general tendency. Yeah, just because you read it on paper or on Fox News. So again, just look at your own country. Donald Trump is not respecting women, is not respecting minorities, is not respecting gays. And he's the head of the US. He says to the world, this is the US right now, as far as I'm concerned. But we know better. All those that go to the US know better. Thank God. So sometimes a good way to get rid of your prejudices and fears is to actually go there. Just like we come to the US and see that not everyone is Trumpland. Not everyone is hateful. Not everyone is a racist. So, having said that, I hope that with the coming of this park, the Disneyland Abu Dhabi park, is also going to be a political movement that will bring the Muslim world and the Muslims and the Americans closer together. We have never been this far apart from each other as we are right now, because certain people use the US to achieve their goals and their agenda, and their goals and their agenda is not necessarily good for the US. It's good for them, but they don't care about the US. They don't care about the people that are living in the US, as long as they're getting the protection and the money of the US. And their agenda demands that the US hates the Muslims and the Muslims hate the US. That's the whole thing. That's the beating heart in their agenda. Yeah, and we all know what I'm talking about. So let's not give them what they want, these kind of people. Let's be civilized. Let's go back to how things were. I just recently saw a picture of a previous king of Morocco walking through Disneyland, guided, getting a tour by Disney himself, Walt Disney himself. Yeah. Let's go back to these times. Remember, guys, the US has been acknowledged by a Muslim country when you guys were trying to be country. Morocco, a Muslim country, was the first country to actually acknowledge you. acknowledge your existence. So it hasn't been like this all the time. It's the politics that has changed us, because some political agenda need us to hate each other to go forward and achieve whatever they want. Yeah? Whether it's on this side or on this side. So Disney has been known to be sometimes a political movement that hopefully changes things sometimes. Not necessarily always, but sometimes Disney is willing to do the right thing, just like they did with the Three Caballeros. The Three Caballeros that you guys have is not just a funny three ducks and they're cute. It was to help improve the relations between America, the US, and Latin America. So let's hope that Disney is now willing to be a good guy again. They haven't been in a long time, but they're willing to be a good guy again and use their power in a political manner to make a statement and bring people together. That's not only what I say, that's also what Bob Iger says. Bob Iger said, and I hope that this park will bring people together from Asia, from the Middle East, from Africa, from Europe, and from the US even, to bring them together. Because a Disney park can do that, as we have all witnessed. Take Orlando, for example. I always loved when me and Mike would go on spaceship and insert what part of the world you're from, and then afterwards go to this big globe and see who's there. And you see all these faces going back to their place of origins where they came from. And I just loved that. That was one of my most happy moments to see so many people from different parts of the world coming together in a Disney park on a Disney ride. So Disney parks can do that, because any happy place can do that, where people come together and we're not triggered by some religious or political movement or wherever. I'm not saying religion is bad. I'm a religious person myself. I'm just saying everything can be used and abused to achieve different agendas. So let's just hope that this will also be a good statement. Let's just see that this will be some sort of a white flag, a good statement, an inspiration for people to come together. And again, bring the Muslims and the Americans together, because this is not how we have been. To have years and years where Americans and Muslims been closer together. I just saw a video, an old video of King Charles of the UK visiting Iran when they had an earthquake there. This is what we're talking about. Hopefully, not only will Disney go back to what Bob Iger said, an authentic Disney park, but let's hope things will be changing to the better so that we all go back to better times. Remember how we used to be, the kind of relations we used to have with one another. Yes, all this can happen through Disney, because again, remember, Disney is just not only bows and popcorn and all that. Disney sometimes chooses to be part of a political movement, and again, I'm referring to the Three Caballeros, which was to encourage and tell Latin America, look, we love you and we include you in our empire, the Disney empire, because we Muslims have disappeared from American movies, have been disappeared from Hollywood. Why? Because it's the same people that want the US and the Muslims to hate each other, because those are people with a different agenda that serves only them, and it doesn't serve them to portray Muslims, because they can either portray us as bad or not portray us at all. So they choose to not portray us at all and make Americans forget about existence, because what you don't know, you fear. So hopefully, after years of us Muslims having disappeared completely from Hollywood, we have the old Hollywood movies where we're all villains and Sinbad thieves and all that. But hopefully, Disney is going to be doing the right thing now with building a Disney park in a Muslim world. Hopefully, Disney now will have the decency to make some content that's also fair to the Muslim world, where we are being portrayed in a good way. Because every nation has its black sheep, but that's not what defines you. Every religion has its crazies, but that's not what defines a religion. Yeah? I mean, you can use your iPhone to call a good friend, or use your iPhone to call a a criminal and hire a criminal. Doesn't mean that it's the iPhone doing that. It's your sick mentality. What kind of person do you allow yourself to be? Has nothing to do with your religion or your country of birth. So let's hope that this coming of this park to Abu Dhabi will be the beginning of a new era where we go back to long forgotten values and a better relations with the Americans and the Muslims. Yeah, despite the fact that a certain group is now working hard to keep us hating each other. Let's make them fail in that, and and change ourselves. Remember better times and act in that spirit. So this will be on an island, on a Yes Island. Disney won't be the first. It's not going to be like Orlando in some sort of forgotten swamp where Disney will be the first smart guy to build the park. This park belongs to a tribe, to the Bani Yas tribe, and they've been selling off their lands, and they decided it must be only entertainment. It must be only for joy. We're going to sell our lands, our ancestor lands of this tribe only to make people happy and, of course, get rich. I mean, let's not forget about that. So they already have a Ferrari world there. They already have a water world, Warner Bros. They already have a Sea World. So Disney is not gonna be the only park on this island. They have annual passes that you can buy, different events that you can attend, dine, stay. They have hotels, many hotels of this level. 5 stars hotel. So this is not going to be some shabby rural, covered by bushes and sand area. I know some of you Americans have left these kind of comments. You have no idea what's been happening in the world. If you're one of these Americans, you have no idea what's been happening in the world. Dubai is the number 1 city in the world right now. And anyone wants to be connected with Dubai one way or another. So this is what we're talking about. This is it. This is the kind of place Disney will be part of, addition to. They already have a lot of parks that you can visit. What else I can tell you? Disney reveals a plan to build a park in Abu Dhabi that will be the most modern, most technological. And they also hope to attract a lot of Europeans, because it's a well-known fact that Europeans, for example, spend more money in Disney World than Americans, the one in Orlando. In fact, when the Magic Bands were being brought out, me and Mike, all the way from the Netherlands, we got Magic Bands, and we went to Orlando the first time. We had some Americans in the queue angry, not at us, but the fact that we were wearing Magic Bands and they weren't. And she said, it makes me furious that Disney sends Magic Bands to people overseas, but not to us. That's because Disney knows which audience spends more money in comparison. It's just a fact, guys, not to offend anybody. The most modern, technological, advanced among its destination. The resort will built on the waterfront. Another thing, those of you that are afraid to be lost in some sort of a desert, Dubai and Abu Dhabi are actually on a lake, a huge lake, which means you're not going to be lost in some sort of desert. Disney did their market research. They know what kind of audience they want to draw to that point, and they know what that audience hope to find. You're not going to be sitting in scorching sun. It's not going to be the fictional beginning of Aladdin, right? So this resort will be built on the waterfront of Yes Island in Abu Dhabi in partnership with Miral, which will develop, build, and then operate it, while Disney oversees creative design and operation support. The announcement precedes the U.S. President Donald Trump's visit to Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the UAE next week. Disneyland Abu Dhabi will be the group's 7th park since the launch of the first resort in Anaheim, after Disney expanded to Florida, Tokyo, Paris, Hong Kong, and Shanghai. CEO Robert Iger said that the Disneyland Abu Dhabi will carry the character of authentic Disney. This means, because it's an Islamic valued society, it means that it's going to target family. It's not going to be something that you will be shy away from the experience with your kids, with grandpa or grandma, because this has to have religious values on the foundation of whatever happens here. So it's a good thing that we all want, because in its core, the Islamic religion is not different from the Christian religion. Yeah, we all want to be covered. We don't want to show too much skin, and we don't want to act like willy-nilly, do whatever and walk around in thongas. That's not what you're going to find there. That's not something you want to have or want to expose to in a theme park. Because look at what happens sometimes when people get drunk, get fed too much drunks and all that. Fights, people take their clothes off. That's not, even in Disney World, that's not something you will find here. So there are going to be restrictions, but these are going to be restrictions that we all benefit from, because these restrictions will keep the crazies away. That's what Disney means with authentic Disney. But will be characterized by an Emirati character. It's those two things. So it's going to be Disney without the willy-nilly crazy side. Emirati describing the project as an oasis of distinctive entertainment from Disney in this region of the world that forms a crossroads. Again, he points out the crossroads, bringing up people together. The company statement said that the resort, which include hotel, restaurant, and shops, will blend Disney stories, characters, famous amusement parks, Abu Dhabi's vibrant culture, picturesque beaches, and captivating architecture, targeting visitors from the Middle East, Africa, India, Asia, and Europe. Wow, look at that, guys. It's in a place where all these continents are wrapped around. What else? Again, this is an Arabic website that I translated. The Abu Dhabi media office confirmed that Miral will fully fund the project while Disney takes over the creative aspects and supervises the design of entertainment attractions, the development of tourist experience, with Miral taking over the operation after opening. Miral already operates facilities such as Warner Bros., Ferrari World, and SeaWorld. So these guys are not, this is not their first ride on this rodeo. They know what they're doing. So Disney is not handing over to just anyone. It's not willy-nilly. Disney is handing it over to an expert in that side of the world, because they're operating all the big brands already. And Disneyland's site was chosen to bring the experience closer to hundreds of millions of customers whose visit to the other 6 parks required a long and costly travel, according to Iger. Again, this is also a financial move, because there are so many people in the world that would love to visit Disney parks, but they just don't feel like traveling, for example, from India all the way to Disney World. So Disney is now closer to this huge gathering of continents. They're literally wrapped around each other, like he says. India, Africa, Asia, and Europe, Middle East. So yeah, different countries, different nations, but relatively close together. So Disney's going to get all these over a shorter distance to visit the parks. So the threshold when it comes to distance and traveling too long, sitting too long in an airplane chair, that threshold is going to be lowered for all these people, potential customers. Damara also explained that the unusual financial model, with Miral fully funding the project, is the right commercial arrangement in this part of the world and with this partner, while remaining the creative supervision of Disney. Disney also hinted that we're going to be getting a new Disney Plus content to go with this, like I said. So we're going to be seeing Muslims being represented in Disney productions, something that's been lacking for years and years. Let's hope that will change, and hopefully also change the way people perceive Muslims, as we have seen Hollywood choosing to do, for example, with Asian people in the US. But for some reason, they're still refusing and not acknowledging the existence of Muslims in the US. The Muslims have disappeared completely from Hollywood productions over the years. Yeah, so we're either Alibaba and thieves, or we don't exist at all. So let's hope that with now with this park, we're going to get also Disney Plus content to go with this. What, Mike, you say?
No, Aladdin was made Indian in the.
Aladdin. That's a good point, Mike. That's a good point. So Aladdin, which takes place in Agrabah, which is the ancient Iraq, even that is now taken away from the Muslims and has been turned into an
Indian spectacle.
Indian culture.
That was very weird.
Was really weird. Yeah. Just to show you guys how there is this tendency to fight against the presence of Arabs and Muslims in U.S. entertaining productions and movies. For some reasons, there is a group that works really hard to set us apart from each other. So let's hope that Disney now is going to make the right move, be good guy in this, just like they did with the Three Caballeros, and also bring a political movement that's good for everybody, that will bring us closer, again, like they did with the Three Caballeros, and give back to Muslims what's Muslim and Arabian, like Aladdin. Aladdin was invented by a French guy, but as an Arabian story. Yeah? And you see that before things got this worse, you actually hear in the animation movie the Sultan referring to Allah as his God for him. I don't know how many Indians you know, but India doesn't have Allah as their God. And Allah, for those of you that don't know, is just a generic name for God.
Well, the real life action movie did feature that Dutch Moroccan guy as Jafar.
He did, yeah. He did, yeah. Which is actually funny, and this is just a fun fact. Maybe not so nice. Maybe that we change it. The actual guy that's Jafar was actually a Semitic guy that was in the original story. Yeah, he was a Moroccan Jew, because that's the story. They know how to do magic. But the rest of the movie has turned into an Indian style. Indian fest, Indian clothes, Indian flowers and all that, and has nothing to do with the way things were portrayed in the original story. So, because I've been having a lot of...
and also in the animation story, right?
Also the animation story. Yes, yeah, animation. The animation starts with a story about Arabia, the Arabian desert. And it's called the Arabian Nights. Yeah, Arabian Nights is the song, is the title of one of the leading songs. But all of a sudden, there is now this group that just wants to erase Muslims from existing, and they even changed the only Muslim Disney productions. They now took over and changed it.
It's a weird thing to notice.
Yeah, so there is this unseen force trying to set Americans and Muslims against each other. Hopefully, with this household American name, Disney,
it's very exciting.
That will change, yeah. And hopefully we will be getting appropriate Disney Plus content, Disney animations to go with that. So all in all, again, guys, you won't be lost in some desert, because what you're looking at right now is an aerial picture of Abu Dhabi. And like I said, it looks like some sort of any modern city, big city in the US, for example. And they're rich, they're modern, they have everything. So don't worry.
Money is no issue.
Money is no issue. You don't have to bring your toilet paper with you. Like a friend of mine from Florida once said to me, "Do you guys have toilet paper in Amsterdam?" And I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Are you serious?
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both. He actually had toilet paper just to be sure in his suitcase. So I know some, I'm not saying everyone, but there are some people that sometimes have the most horrific image of other cultures. I assure you guys, you don't have to bring your toilet paper when you go to Abu Dhabi. What else can I tell you about that? Oh yeah. So when is this happening eventually? Meta here. This is in Wanneer gaat het over? This is the Dutch translation. They're looking at a period of all in all 8 years. So Bob Iger said we need 2 years to do more research and to bring the right group together. 2 years of that, and then we need about 4 years to actually build the park. So you're looking at a period of between 6-7 years maybe.
Yeah, but I think it could be quicker over there, right? Because
Could
they
be quicker.
do know how
Yeah.
to build.
They do know how to build.
So
Yeah.
it's not going to be Tron.
No, 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 no. No,
the
that's
second
that's a
Tron.
different mentality. Yes,
Yeah.
true, true. It's a different mentality over there. One last thing that I want to say is the safety is measured at the underdog safety. So if gays can go to Abu Dhabi, and I've found different gay groups going to Abu Dhabi. If gays can go to Abu Dhabi and tell you that as long as you wear something like that, you're safe, that's literally what they said. This is a link from the gay website. Then I assure you everybody is safe in Abu Dhabi. And if on paper it says that it's not gay friendly, you guys have the same thing right now in the US.
Yeah.
On paper, the US is the most Western anti-gay country at this point. And Trump is not shying away from saying it out loud. I'm going to strip the gay community from all its rights, is actually what he said. And there are states that are already integrating these laws. Doesn't mean that me and Mike don't feel safe or actually believe that we won't be safe as gays coming to the US. And we have been coming to the US. And we have been feeling safe. But on paper, that's what the government says. Doesn't have to be that. That's what you will find on the ground. And if this is what will keep you safe, not showing too much skin, there are states in the US where Christian people don't appreciate you showing too much skin.
There are places here
in
the
Netherlands,
too,
anywhere, in Asia.
Anywhere you go.
So, and is that a place where you want to show too much skin? Me and Mike, when we go to the US, although it's freedom and all that, we always dress as self-respecting people. The way our sexual orientation does not have to dictate how I dress.
No.
I don't have to go in rainbow colors.
No.
So that has nothing to do with, it's just be considerate.
It's just
respecting the culture.
True.
And also, guys, we as a gay community, I don't want to be seen by the outside world as party hardy all the time. That's not who we are. I'm gay, and thus I have to wear gay colors and party hardy.
That's okay, but it's not who we are.
But that's not who.
When I turn on the TV and I see all these movements, I said, "How is this helping me?
How is this helping
me?
Yeah, we're being portrayed as party crazies. Sexual beings, party crazies, always want to be naked, always want to look around in thanga. That's not an image that helps us forward. That's not also an image that won't help the straight community forward. So it has nothing to do with how do they perceive people, because their own people, their own fellow Muslim people, and I'm one of them, the Muslim fellow people, whether you're straight or gay doesn't matter. They expect from you to be presented to the outside world in public as family appropriate.
It's the same thing when you go to Thailand and visit the temple. You need to put on something and cover yourself.
Yeah.
And that is something that is widely respected there. But apparently it's a weird thing to do that anywhere else.
The other end of this spectrum is to have people like we've seen now in Disney World, Small World, that think they can take their clothes off and go stand between the puppets.
Yeah, but that is just some crazies.
I'm just saying that there is freedom and there is freedom, guys. We all want to have the kind of freedom that's protecting all of us. And I don't need crazies to be part of that. Not necessarily. So hopefully what you will see with these restrictions is that they will protect the family aspect that makes sure that we all enjoy the park.
True. I've also seen a lot of comments from people complaining, there won't be booze there. So how can we have fun without the booze?
I don't know if there's not going to be booze because, again, Dubai...
True, because they do allow tourists to consume, right? They have bars in hotels, etc. So... but just that statement alone made me giggle. Yeah.
Well, guys, hopefully when you go on vacation, hopefully you spend all that money and effort not just to drink beer, but because you want to explore culture. I really hope that this is your mentality, because otherwise you will.
Not everybody is the same, right?
No, not everybody. But I just hope that it's not all about beer, but that you actually. When you fly from the US
that
all the way,
not measure the success of your vacation of how many
beers you drank. Exactly, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying no. Please do whatever makes you happy. but I'm just trying to tell you guys there is so much more that you can explore. And we're having the same problem with people that come to Amsterdam.
Yeah.
You know, many tourists, where is the red light? Where is the red light district? And I go...
Where's the coffee shop?
And I go, God, you, nice person, you deprive yourself from seeing the different facets of Amsterdam. We have so many beautiful things here. Coffee shop and red light is only a small part of that. But it is the part that many Americans hate Amsterdam for, and I can tell you guys,
because that's the only thing that is seen, right? Because that is interesting things to show.
Yeah.
Because if it's not extravagant, it's not interesting enough.
True.
You know, it's the same as we see the coverage from any Pride parade here.
Yes.
You have 80-something boats going across the canal. And which one do you see on the news? The naked ones are shown on the news, and not the boat full of lesbian grannies, right?
True.
Because that is not interesting to look at.
So, and again, a Disney park is a park where we all want to be not reminded of what are our political or religious preferences. Yeah. You just want to be there and enjoy. Yeah. So it's good that not one thing takes over the other. Disney World actually had this kind of policy. They used to ban you from the park if you had T-shirts with some specific political quotes on there. So that's what Disney, Bob Iger, I think means by talking about going back to authentic Disney, where everybody's welcome. And he keeps saying that it's going to be crossroads. It's going to be a hub where different cultures can meet, meaning there won't be any triggers that remind us of our differences, but more reminds us of that we all want to be happy. And this is going to be a happy place. So, all right, that was it, guys. And with that, we're going to wrap this. And the only thing that waits us to do is be excited and be on the lookout for the opening of this park and follow the updates. But we're certainly happy about this announcement, and we cannot wait to see it coming into fruition. Take good care, guys. I hope to see you in a different video. Anything to add to that, Mike?
No.
Time for lunch. Yeah. See you guys. Big hug from us.
Bye.
Bye.